opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
You are watching Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's weekly TV showcase of the literary talent of the province. And this is going to be a very special episode because we have Saskatoon literary and literacy advocate Carey Rigby Wilcox with us today, who has done amazing things in the literary world of the province. But first of all, welcome to the show, Carey.
Thank you very much.
It just means a lot to have you here.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about the books you're involved in, but first, I'd really like to hear your story because you have quite an inspiring story in terms of reading and publishing and that sort of thing.
Right.
So
first of all, with my reading skills, I had very low level literacy. So as a child, I struggled a lot with reading and writing. And unfortunately, being in a big school with lots of students in the classroom, I kind of slipped through the cracks, and I kept a big secret. I kept it a secret. I didn't want anybody to know that I couldn't read and write. And, you know, all the other kids at school, they could do it. So I was just very confused on why the other students could do it and I couldn't. So I made my life promise to hide my secret and try to do whatever I could to get out of reading out loud in classrooms, and I would slip out of the classroom and stuff like that. So I just was very, very scared of reading, and I did go to school and I did graduate high school, but then I came to a huge roadblock in my life where going to wanting a job and wanting high desires and goals that I had deep inside me, I knew that I couldn't attain those goals because I didn't have the proper literacy skills to do that. And so I couldn't fill out a resume and I couldn't fill out an application. So I was stuck with a low, work, hard labor job. And in time just realized that when I became pregnant, the importance of reading to my child, I knew that mothers were to model to their children reading, and so that was the first step for me, was to want help. And I went to Read Saskatoon and was given a one-on-one tutor, and me and Lisa have been together for it's going to be 21 years this year.
So Lisa helped you learn to read,
yes,
and that sort of thing, but some really great things blossomed out of that because you ended up being an author.
Yes.
Because of this journey you were on.
Yes.
And I guess I'll hold up. This is your first children's book.
Well, this one here was the first one for illustrations that I did, so that started me off.
Okay.
And knowing that I could do the illustrations.
Hold this up for a while.
Because I love art, and as a child, I love images in books. I loved books, and so my dream was always to do art. That was one of my goals in life. And so when Kathy Hurst came to me and asked me to do the illustration, it really was a dream come true for me to do that. And so then after that book was done, I just wanted to, I'm about taking like the middleman out, and there was no room for any extra. Like, she had put so much money within that project. Yes. And I wanted to take his job. I knew we could do it. So I went and researched how to create children's books, and I thought, well, we could do it. The two of us women could do that. Yep. So with the Ladybug book, I actually went to my local library, Carlisle King Library, and this was a place that I was very fearful of. I was very scared of a library, so for me to go in there, I would take my children there and let them play and not be scared of it. But I actually decided to go in for myself, and I went in and I learned everything I needed to know about publishing, artwork, marketing, everything I needed to do from my local library with my library card, and I created that book all by myself.
Nice.
And then the Mummy book came.
Yes, my mummy couldn't read Can we just elaborate on the premise of this book a little?
Well, this is my life story
Yeah.
in a children's form. It was meant because I felt that I was so alone, that I felt that I was the only one in Saskatoon, in Canada, in the world. I thought I was the only one that couldn't read. So when I started meeting other people, I wanted to take that shame away.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to know that I exist. And so I needed the reading world to understand as well, but I also needed the adult learner not to feel so alone. And so that book had two purposes, and it was one, not, an adult learner not to feel alone, and the reading world to know that I exist. And I'm human, and I can do things. Just because I have low literacy doesn't mean I can't accomplish anything.
Oh gosh, you are the poster girl for accomplishing.
Thank you.
In this world. We need to just very briefly touch on this one too, because we've had this author on the show.
Yes, Shannon Wright.
Yes, and she was another writer that emerged through your...
Right. So Shannon and I, we both belong to our Women in Business within Delisle, and Shannon builds my websites, and so we have been a team together and friends for an awfully long time, and she had wrote this story and had asked if I would illustrate it, and I thought, for sure, why not? And it's been doing very, very well.
Nice.
Shannon has taken that one far.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now we're going to talk about your website in a moment, but you've also got your hands involved in now more adult-themed books.
Right.
So can we just expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. We'll start with this one.
Sure.
This one.
Hold this up.
This one is just new. It just came out. I started this last year. It's myself, Diane Smith from PEI, and Ellen Zita from BC. We've joined together. We're all adult learners, and we've come together to share our stories and to distribute this book through GED classrooms or upgrading classrooms for adult learners to read as a group in the classroom. And then they would tell us their thoughts on it, and just because we want them to see that being in a classroom setting, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that there is women that went through it, and that there is success at the end, personal freedom at the end, and we just want to help them make those. Because some days are really, really dark when you feel you're alone. So it would just be nice for them to see that there's 3 other people. And then we're doing more Relentless Journeys. Kathy and I from the Fairy Book. This, we're doing the Relentless Journeys series, and we are putting more adult learners books. Adult learners are now sharing this story, and they're coming out and they want to help somebody too. So it's just this big circle of trying to give, that we're not alone, and we're all the same, and we all struggled. It may be a little bit different, but we all had challenges, and we all have great successes after it.
It's wonderful what you're doing. It's just absolutely inspiring. And
that's Ellen Zita's, that's her full biography. So that's hers right there. And she's from BC, and her story's doing really well. And they've just made a study guide to go along with hers. So hers goes into classrooms as well, and they have a study guide to follow along and read. Nice. Read her book and then answer questions.
Great.
So this is for like a teaching tool too for the classroom or a tutor. See, I'm with a tutor, Lisa, and how we tutor is I would read 1 page and she would read 1 page, and then I would go to a dictionary or something. So this could be used as a teaching tool for a tutor as well.
Well, this is on my nightstand right now, and I can absolutely verify it's a spectacular read.
Thank you.
I was very moved by it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, all this being said, where can viewers find your children's book and your adult book?
Right now, this one could be found at McNally, Robertson. Actually, all of these are at McNally.
Good.
And also at my website, www.seabook.com, seeabook.com. Or on the back of this book, it shows the learnerslighthouse.ca.
Okay.
And that's a new website that's up and available. It's kind of in construction, but it's there.
Good to know.
Yes.
Any other places in the province right now?
Well, I have them, which I'm more excited that they're in classrooms across the province.
Nice.
So I have students right now in class that are doing that, and that means more to me than selling the book, because the students are actually reading them. So we have them in Weyburn, and we also have them at the Food Bank Learning Centre right now. They're doing it as well, and in in PEI and BC.
Spectacular. Oh, I'm just so revved up right now.
Thank you.
You've really enlightened us on the literary and literacy world of the province.
Can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
Just the fact that, you know, Read Saskatoon was there for me. Their doors are open, and there is literacy programs and literacy places for tutoring. And if anyone ever needs help, it is out there, and you should, you know, ask. Somebody will know. But there is literacy organizations all across Canada, and that's their job, is just to help adult learners learn how to read. And then once they learn it, you know, I did it for my son, but now it's for me, and now I'm spreading it to the community and more. So it's more than just, you know, it's bigger than that. So take the steps to learning, because, you know, you're worth it.
Awesome. Well said. That's probably all the time we have, but I just want to thank you. You've probably been one of the most illuminating guests we've ever had on the show, so thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can watch previous episodes on YouTube, and you can go onto our Facebook page and like us. So I will see you next time on Lit Happens.